All right, guys, how's it going today? So we were talking the other day on one of the forums, and an ATAK forum specifically, the kayak I'm fishing here, and the question they asked on there is, what do you guys store in your kayak when you're fishing? Specifically, the 6 different compartments that you have. What is it that you're using in those areas? So I just thought I'd do a quick little rundown of what my ATAK looks like while I'm on the water. So as you can see, I've got it here on the workbench. I've got it rigged exactly like when I'm fishing on the water, with the exception of the fishing rods. So let's go ahead and get started right up here at the front. So the first thing you can see right off the bat on the first grab rail is I have a GoPro mounted. It is an old series GoPro, but I have one mounted at the very front of the kayak. That kind of gives those action shots. It's actually my favorite view. It is a wide angle, 170 degrees, so it makes it really, really easy to kind of see me fighting the fish, landing the fish, and of course doing some releases. And it gets it far enough, it doesn't feel like you're right in my face with that camera. So I really like that. Moving back, whenever I'm fishing, I have my landing net in this orientation. I have created that little bracket right there that holds my net up and easy to access. So I keep it laying right across the top of the hatch. So that makes it really, really quick and easy to get to. All right, so let's move that real quick and take a look at what we keep inside the hatch. So in this hatch, it's a huge compartment. As you can see, it opens up. I had to shorten the string so as not to interfere with the camera that I've got mounted on the front. But here's what I keep inside. Starts off, I've got a day pack where in the top compartment, I keep all of my filming equipment, my backup cards, more batteries, everything I need for my GoPros. I'll keep like a 5-hour energy in there. My next compartment is where I keep some of my favorite kind of go-to baits. I also keep lunch, any kind of food or anything of that nature. And then down in the main compartment down here is where I keep basically dry clothes. Yesterday, for example, was really cold out there, a little colder than I thought. So I've got rain gear, I've got a beanie, I keep a buff face mask, and I'll keep a set of gloves inside of that. So underneath that day pack is where I keep the rest of my gear. Over here, this is JJ's Magic. I keep it in a container because it is prone to spill and I don't want that all over the place. I keep water, I keep sunscreen. Definitely don't need it this time of year. My leader material for all my finesse fishing. This is my worm binder where I keep all of my curly tail worms and all of my stick baits. And then underneath that, I finally broke down and bought another life jacket. I'm not a big fan of wearing one of those big bulky life jackets, so I went ahead and finally broke down and bought a really thin one because in the tournaments, you have to have the life jacket on the entire time you're fishing. All right, so that's a quick look at the front hatch there. A lot of times I won't latch it whenever I'm out on the water. I'll just go ahead and leave it just hooked up like that and rest my net on top. So slowly moving back now. We got the GPS, of course. Y'all seen lots of videos on that. And then I've got the X-Grip RAM arm over there to hold my cell phone. That also gives me a pretty unique perspective. But you're constantly going back and forth from the landscape to the portrait, so that is kind of annoying, but it is there. The middle compartment here, which did start off as a cup holder, tool holder, I've taken that off, and right now I just use it as a catch-all. You can see I got a couple baits there from yesterday. I got another bottle of JJ's Magic, and it's great, but it does collect water. So I do need to come up with a technique to either raise those baits out of the water or just some way to kind of keep them getting water in there. As we're going to just spin around here so you can take a look the other way. So for my paddle, I actually have that roto grip, I guess is what they call it by ATAK, whatever it may be. I actually put it across the kayak because when I'm standing, what I really like is I'll get the paddles in this orientation upright like that, and now if I need the kayak to turn just a touch, I can lean just enough in one direction to get that paddle to touch the water, and that'll kind of bend me over to the side. So that's pretty nice. It's just for light modifications of the way I'm drifting, nothing major. If it's major, I'll reach down, I'll grab one of the foot pedals, and I will adjust the rudder with that. So underneath my seat here, I've got this little ATAK bag, and it comes in pretty handy. So in here, I keep digital scale, headlamp, pair of pliers, And then I got a bottle of Procure, so I'll just keep all that in that compartment right there. Of course, you've seen it before. I've got my boomerang attached to a piece of paracord over there, so that's real handy. Let me get this paddle out of the way. All right, of course, you got the seat. I always fish the seat in the upright position, and some of that has to do with the fact that if you can see right here underneath here, I've actually got my anchor trolley underneath. So now I can't take that seat in that lower position. To me, that's not a big deal. I like using the underneath part of this seat, or underneath this seat, as storage. Right here, I've got a set of boga grips that I keep on one of the T-ring handles. This is really nice because I can hook the fish and throw that fish in the water and let him kind of just sit there and chill. That way he's not out of the water for long periods of time while I get the camera out, maybe I get the measuring stick, all those kind of things. So let's fold this seat down so we can get some better lighting. So as we come to the back here, you can see I've got my second GoPro, my over-the-shoulder kind of shot, and I do have this on an adjustable piece so I can get it up out of the way. Plus the other thing is, since I stand so much, I like to be able to raise that up. Nobody wants to, a low shot of me standing basically. So this way, this will get up out of the way and still kind of shoot over my shoulder. And the farther up it goes, the farther away from my body it goes as well. So that makes it really, really nice. I do not have any type of pack on the back of the seat. I just leave it like it is, although that is a good storage spot for anything that you may or may not need. Back here, I've just got, quick throw area. I don't do anything specific other than the kettlebell that I use for an anchor system. So I've got that over there. Behind there is, of course, my milk crate. And currently I have 5 rod holders on it, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and add another rod holder right here. So maybe that'll be a great little project for this afternoon. Some of my tackle boxes, I'm not gonna go into depth here because I do have that in other videos. Of course, I got my Bass Mafia as well. Those are rod holders that I put in, and then of course I've got these mounted here too, so I can put on bazooka tubes or whatever else it may be. On the back, I just cut a piece of PVC pipe, and this is where I keep my hog trough. So that's very, very handy. It's easy to reach and it stays out of the way. Coming back to the back compartment here, I have got, basically it's my high-vis 360 light. I just go ahead and put it on that slide track. I like to use the center one here and not the sides because that way it keeps it in line and there's no risk of me catching it whenever I am making a cast. If you open up this compartment, I don't really keep too much in here. If I do happen to take my C-Tug cart, I will break that C-Tug cart down and I'll put it inside this compartment. This is the life jacket and whistle that I've always kept on board, but it pretty much stays there because I'm not a fan of wearing that one. It's just real bulky and it makes it hard for me to turn the kayak. I feel more unsafe with that life jacket on than with it off. But I got the brand new life jacket so I can be compliant in all these tournaments. Of course, you can see I've got a battery mounted down in there, and that's about it. This battery controls the green lights on the side of the kayak. And then, of course, you got the rudder control here on the back. And we'll spin around real quick to this other side, and you can just see that I've got my water bottle mounted right there. That's just kind of where I keep it. It's handy, it's out of my way. I don't have to worry about it, and it's on this pivot arm, so it's not like it spills even if it's an open can, so that's nice. And then, of course, just moving down, you can see where I've got my rope, quick and easy access. I clip it off right here so I don't have to dig underneath the seat. It's always easy for me to grab. But I keep all the lines, whether it's an anchor trolley, the actual retractable, whatever it may be, I keep everything nice and tight to the deck so there's no interference or any risk of snagging or hanging on something. All right, guys, well, that's a quick walkthrough of basically all the things I carry with me on the water to have a successful day. I have everything within reach. It's very, very important. Things happen very, very quickly when on the water, especially when fighting the fish. So I don't want to be digging around guessing where everything is. I put every item in the exact same spot to make it a lot easier for myself. And this is just what I have found to be the most convenient for me. Might not work out for you, but definitely works out for me. All right, guys, if y'all got any questions whatsoever, please go ahead and comment below. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you like this video. And if you've got anything you want to see, please ask away. I'll do whatever I can to get that video cranked out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.